Continuing now with our lead story, is the right making a comeback in the USA? With us, Dr. Mark Lamont Hill, a Columbia University professor. Dr. Hill is in for Juan Williams tonight. And from Washington, Fox News analyst Mary Catherine Ham. All right, Mary Catherine, it's very hard to put, even though the polls show Barack Obama a little bit of trouble, those polls can go fast. And, you know, Beck and Palin doing very well. Factor, right. We're not conservative broadcast, but certainly traditional, doing very well. Right. Does it have a bigger picture connotation?
Well, certainly things can change, but I think there's some empirical evidence that, in fact, the right is doing fairly well. 40%, according to a Gallup report, say that they self-identify as conservative, which is more than 2004. In another poll, 50% say that they don't think health care is a federal government issue or their responsibility to provide health care, which, given that Obama's been selling that for a year now, is a pretty interesting thing. And then I think you see at these Palin and Beck events with a bunch of people out there, you see a bunch of people who don't make no mistake, they would be eligible for some of the health care benefits in this health care package that Congress is selling, but they say, no, please stop spending money on us, which I think is sort of a great cultural moment.
So you see it as the return of the right? The right is now gaining momentum in a big way?
Well, I think that moderates and independents acted like Democrats and even sort of like liberals in the last election, and liberals wanted to read that as a resurgence of the left in a center-right country. I think we're going back to where we naturally belong, and maybe a bit farther to the right, with people looking at the debt and saying, hey, the government spending, the entitlements have to get under control, and we're willing to give up some of our piece of the pie to make it happen.
How do you see it?
I don't see that at all. I mean, if you look at recent polls right now, the public options are wildly popular. That would suggest that many people in America are into government-sponsored health care, or at least into government intervention.
The latest poll, only 35% of Americans want the government bill as it is now in the Senate and the House. That's not many.
As it is now, but Americans do support the public option. My point only being that we could pick one poll or another and say the right is coming back or the left is coming back. I don't think that's it at all. I think whenever there's a stranglehold on the political landscape, and right now the Democrats have it, you're going to see people saying we need to take back America. And you'll see cult-like figures emerge like Sarah Palin or Glenn Beck, who are there to rally a certain sector of the American people who are disgruntled and angry. That's all it's about.
But couldn't Barack Obama be looked upon as the cult-like figure on the left? And
of course.
But look how much power he obtained in a short period of time. So your argument doesn't hold water, even though you're from Columbia.
No,
if Barack Obama, no, just listen to me, and I'll give you time.
Then
if Barack Obama is the same on the left as Palin and Beck on the right, Barack Obama blew the doors off the political process and is now the president. So you're saying, oh no, that's not happening here. Well, I don't get it. If Barack Obama did the same thing that Beck and Palin are doing, why can't Beck and Palin blow the doors off on the right?
Well, for one, Barack Obama had a job. He's a senator, and he was building a movement along with Congress. Right now, Sarah Palin has the potential to build what Barack Obama has. But I'm saying right now, at the moment, Sarah Palin does not have that. What she has
is a job.
He does have a job. I'm talking about a political job. What Sarah Palin right now has is a great book tour. She has a lot of fans. She's very popular. But until it turns into something that's politically, informed, it's not going to be a political movement like Barack Obama's.
All right. What do you say, Mary Catherine?
First of all, the public option is only popular when the pollsters ask without specifying that the government's going to run it and take your money to pay for it. When you ask the question that way, the support goes way down. On the other hand, I think Palin and Beck, they don't have to necessarily be politicians, I don't think. We're thinking outside the box here, Mark. I think they can
You are.
Some of these Glenn Beck rallies, for instance, have sort of a Rock the Vote feel. This Rock the Vote is technically a nonpartisan organization that goes out and registers young Democrats.
Yeah, just like Acorn.
Well, Glenn Beck is a little bit of a conservative rock star. He goes out there and he registers and gets people excited about voting on the right. And so I think that can be an analog to that, and he doesn't have to be a politician, nor does Palin at this point.
What do you say?
To rouse excitement and to get people involved.
You don't need to have a political office to rouse this excitement, but until we can't say that the right has come back, that there's a right-wing resurgence until 2010 elections come up, until 2012 elections come up. Until then, we don't know.
That'll be fairly easy to say then.
Yeah, I agree with you, but right now it's unfair to say that Sarah Palin has a movement. She doesn't have a movement. She has a fan club.
The barometer is going to be the economy, wouldn't you say? Wouldn't you see that 210 is going to be about the economy? You'd agree with that.
That's
right?
One issue, and also foreign policy may be an issue. If we keep moving toward Iran.
Be an issue, sure. If there's a war in Iran or Afghanistan blows up, But at this point, I said in the talking points that momentum is on the right. I think there's no doubt about it. Momentum is on the right.
Momentum is absolutely on the right now. But again, it's not.
As long as you see it.
But it's not a full-scale political movement. That the right hasn't come back until we see some political offices change hands.
I agree. They haven't come back full time. But the momentum shift is like a football game. The right has it. Mary Catherine, I'll give you the last word. Go.
And what they're doing is they're getting people excited about what will happen in 2010 and 2012, and that matters, is what we saw from Obama, what he built years before he actually ran. And actually, conservatives are kind of getting excited about, dare I say it, community organizing, because these people are pushing it, and they're like the validators in chief at this point.
I
They're
heard
saying,
that
right,
the conservative
go forth
group,
and do
though,
it.
the conservative group's going to be walnut. Was that bad?
We'll do it a little
That
more
might be the
honestly.
worst
We'll
joke
do it
you've
more
ever told.
honestly.
I've seen you tell a lot of bad jokes. That was the worst one.
The acronym is World. Forget it.
I'll think of it for
All
you.
right.
I'll write it down.
I'm embarrassed. Mary Catherine Doctor, thanks very much. Directly ahead, a lawyer for an al-Qaeda thug being tried here in New York City says the trial will definitely be a propaganda circus. We told you, the counselor will be here.